Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching The Inside Scoop. I am your host, Steve Scanlon, and sitting next to me is my co-host, Bubba. Welcome, Bubba.
Doing, Steve?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you. Sitting on the desk here, once again, is Emma Lily. It kind of scares me, to tell you the truth. And sitting in the chair next to Bubba is Joey. Welcome, Joe.
Hello.
As you're going to watch another episode of The Inside Scoop. And Joey, you have any deaths list?
What was that? Do I have to go to intimidate his bat?
No.
And really put you on the death list? Really?
What you got, the Miz?
Really? I'll get those stupid big shoes and step on you and say you like it.
I wonder if he was telling the truth. This past Monday, he said he's hosting
WrestleMania, yes.
So it is true.
It's definitely true. It's true. Do you think he is Kurt Angle now?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Read your death list before I put you on it.
Screw it.
No, it's not on it.
Actress Stella Stevens.
Yes.
In fact, she did the very first episode of the Wonder Woman TV series. She played a Nazi spy. We got MLB legend Tim McCarver.
Yep. Great announcer, too, Tim McCarver.
An old friend of Hulk Hogan's is next on the list. Law and Order SBU star Richard Belzer.
Yes. Richard Belzer, Sergeant Mouch. He was also in other shows, but Richard Belzer was a funny guy. I mean, Tim McCarver was a great announcer, and Stella Stevens was a pretty good actress.
That's all I get for the deaths.
There was a couple of other obscure people I read online, but that was really it. Steve's not on it yet.
I'm not ready to go yet. Joe, you mentioned when I picked you up prior to tonight's taping that you added a birthday.
Last minute birthday for the.
So how many birthdays do you have? You have
I
a
got
list
3
of
of them.
Oh, 3 birthdays.
I'll get to that one I found out say last. First, this one was kind of shocked me about this guy's age. Brodus Clay.
Yes.
Who was born February 21st. He's 50 years old.
Yes. Brodus turned 50 this year. Somebody call your mama.
And we got the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Woo! Is he about 77 now?
74.
Yeah, he's old. I know he's getting there.
February 25th.
Yep.
And the one I just got today, Gorilla Monsoon's referee son, Joey Morello.
Joey Morello, yes.
He would have been 60 this year.
I think he died when he was 38 or 39.
Yeah.
Now, another one of the ones
accident?
I'm going to match. Yes, he did. Going to a ranch. A lot of wrestlers have died traveling on the road. Another one I'm going to mention was the late, great Dewey Robinson. You know who Dewey Robinson was, don't you?
No.
Do you know who Dewey Robinson was?
Wasn't he the missing link?
Yes. I met Missing Link in Lynn, Massachusetts years ago. He would have had a birthday if he was still with us yesterday. It was mentioned again. I'll say it again. I said it before. On your internet, go on WrestlingForum.com. My good friend Vic Salagosta, who I hope to have on this show sometime in the near future, mentioned that. He mentions birthdays just about daily. WrestlingForum.com. Definitely worth looking into.
Okay,
Wait a minute. I think Emily, do you have anything else? Anybody else? Anybody else?
No.
No. She doesn't think, okay. Nope, she's saying no.
I can't
Talking
remember.
to a doll here.
It comes with my old age. Did we do the results of the last WWE pay-per-view?
Yes, we did.
Elimination Chamber?
He read it.
We did. Okay. WWE does not have a pay-per-view for the month of March. Joey informed me. So
I know
the
that
next
too.
one is WrestleMania, which will be a 2-night event. And
I will miss the second night, but I'll see it eventually on Peacock because I will be going away April 2nd.
And Joey, do you have any matches listed for WrestleMania?
Should have all of them. There's about
I got at least 4.
4.
There's more of it that have been added.
They haven't made them official for yet. First one is the WWE titles, Roman Reigns against Cody Rhodes.
I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'll pick first.
Josh,
I'm kind of stuck in between this. Roman Reigns been on a winning streak, and he's been beating everyone who we've been facing.
Not all by himself, though.
Cody Rhodes, I think, is capable of beating him, and he's the guy who I want to beat Roman Reigns. So I'm going to go with the guy who I want to win. I'm going to go with Cody Rhodes on this one.
I think Cody Rhodes is going to win the match. I think they're going to take the belt off of Roman Reigns right now. Their kind of storyline are kind of breaking up the bloodline. I think the Usos are going to lose their title before that match. That match has not been listed. The Usos are going against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, we think. I don't think it's been made official yet, but I think they could be going against those two, and I think Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens beat the bloodline, beat Jay and Jimmy Uso. I think they're going to break up this whole bloodline thing for a bit, because I know Roman wants to take some time off. He is tired. People forget the man fought leukemia a few years ago, and he deserves some time off. And Solo Sikoa doing his thing. I just don't like the way the bloodline, Roman Reigns is actually keeping his title. He has someone fighting his battles.
Yeah.
Them getting involved every single match now. It's getting to be tiring. It was cute. It was interesting writing for a while, and it's getting to be a little stale. So I think they're going to let Cody Rhodes fulfill his dream. That's why they brought him back. That's why they signed him to a multi-year contract. That's why he left AEW, one of the founders of it, to come back as a champion. I have met Cody Rhodes. I shook his hand directly at AEW. AEW at XWA match in Providence. Nice kid, real nice man.
SmackDown Women's title, Charlotte defending against Rhea Ripley.
I want to go first in this one.
Oh, yeah.
I think Rhea Ripley beats her. I think Rhea Ripley, who's getting a big push right now with Judgment Day, beats Charlotte. The reason being behind my pick, Charlotte Flair, his contract is coming up soon. WWE, I know, is opening up the wallets to try to keep her, but she wants to go work in AEW with her husband, with Andrade. I think they're going to give Rhea the title. I think she's going to beat Charlotte.
I'm going to agree with you on Rhea. Two reasons. Number one, reason you just gave, she's being pushed. But also, too, Charlotte Flair is a 14-time champion, and of course she's going to have to lose the title to win the title back. I think she's going to match her old man as a 16-time champion in the near future. So I'm going to go with Charlotte Flair losing this match and Rhea winning.
See, last time, we know, Joe, you're going to pick Cody Rhodes, and you're going to end up picking Charlotte Flair now, so just move on. He hasn't picked a heel yet.
He doesn't object to you.
Of course not.
I just slapped him behind the camera.
I'll slap you on the camera.
Raw Women's title, Bianca Belair against Asuka.
I'm going to go with Asuka for this one. I like her.
She is getting a good push. She's come back. She's been a little more devastating, a little more vicious, a little more on her own, doing her own thing. But I think Bianca Belair keeps the title. My opinion, I think Bianca keeps it. And who are you going to pick? Because they're both kind of faces there, Joey.
I'm going to go with Asuka. And this next one is Brock Lesnar against Omos.
Who?
Omos.
Almost a wrestler? He's only 7'4", weighs 415 pounds. Punch, kick, choke slam. Giant Khali 2023. If Brock Lesnar doesn't destroy that guy, there's something wrong with WWE. I think if they had Braun Strowman beat Omos, I think Brock Lesnar could beat Omos. I think Omos is in the way. Omos is a huge man who has absolutely zero wrestling ability. None.
I agree. I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar on this. Now, one thing that's in the back of my mind on this is, what's this name? Bobby Lashley wants Brock Lesnar in the match. I'm thinking there could be a possibility that Bobby Lashley interferes in this match. And if he does, then Omos, which both of us agree are limited to certain moves, could possibly steal the win if there's outside interference from Bobby Lashley. But I'm still going to go with Brock Lesnar on winning this match. Who you pick to win, Joe?
I'm going to go with Omos.
This is history.
Well, I don't think
Bubba.
so, because I don't know if they're playing Lesnar as a
Wait,
villain too or not.
The reason this is history, you actually chose a heel to win a match.
Emily, I can't believe what you just heard. Say it again.
I can't believe it either.
You're picking a heel to win?
Well, I don't even know if Lesnar is a hero or a heel right now. You can't tell.
Well, I
He
think
attacks
he's a face, unless I'm mistaken.
Emily doesn't know what's going on.
Neither do I. I was confused too when he picked Omos to win. Wow.
Oh. Wait a minute, I'm taking my phone out. Director, I have to call Ripley on the air. Joey picked a heel to win a match.
Call Rhea? You gonna call Dominic's mommy?
Ripley's believe it or not.
Yeah, he could be interfering in that match
Well,
as
and the other
well.
people that's a potential match, and I've read these online, is Seth Rollins against Jake Paul. Is that the guy's name?
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul? Yeah. He's going to be wrestling him. That's pretty much been being set up. I can see that happening. I can see the Viking Raiders perhaps going against Sheamus and McIntyre. I could see that as another potential match because there's a big hype going back and forth with that one. I could see a rematch between Lita and big time Becky Lynch.
Actually, that won't happen because as of this past Monday night, they were the new women's tag champs.
Yeah, but I see him going against Kai and Tai for a rematch.
Oh, Kai and Tai.
No, against
The Damage Control.
yeah, Damage Control. Dakota Kai and Elo Sky. Elo Shirai Sky, whatever her name is this month. she's like the Dunkin' Donuts Center, what's now the Amiga Center. Speaking of that, did you happen to notice, I mentioned one of the shows, I was going to see Jeff Dunham. I never laughed so hard in my life.
I got some of his shows on DVD.
I've been to most of his shows. I never laughed so hard as I did this past Saturday
It's
night.
been really funny. You're still laughing.
I'm kind of in shock. Look, Emily is speechless. Joey picked a heel.
Exactly. Now, Joe, how does it feel to finally break the pattern?
Just
No comment?
no.
Very cool. All right, this upcoming Monday, Raw is coming to Boston. Then the following Monday, they're coming to Providence.
Yes.
So that's cool. And this Monday on Raw, John Cena is supposed to make your
I'm
appearance.
just going to say,
coming
you can't
home.
see me. We can smell you, John, but we can't see you.
John Cena's coming home.
Yes, he is. Finally. No, wrong gig.
Wrestler.
You can't see me because he's been out doing movies.
There was talk on YouTube about a month ago about John Cena possibly wrestling at WrestleMania. for
Yes,
the
against
US title.
Austin Theory.
Against Austin Theory.
Yes, that's actually, going to happen. It's another one of the matches that you could add to your little list there. I read
Title on the line, though.
Yes.
And Austin Theory said this Monday he's going to
Mm-hmm.
respect John Cena, and he wants John Cena to respect him.
Yep.
So it's going
You
to be
respect
interesting
him.
to see them two in the ring talking
Be
to
funny
one
to
another.
get I love seeing Austin Theory, who I think is a cocky little son of a gun. He was a cocky little son of a gun when I met him in XWA. I'm a love it. I can enjoy John Cena giving him a 5-knuckle shuffle. I really will, because he a little bit of an attitude check there. Austin Theory, I read online, is getting a huge push from the company. So is Carmelo Anthony. Well deserved for Carmelo Anthony, local kid, trained by Brian Fury, Christian Casanova. We've seen wrestle LPW, Christian Casanova. Personally, me and Steven have. I know we have. Joe, we'd like to bring you out to some matches sometime at LPW out in Hudson and leave you there.
Yeah.
No, Brian trained Carmelo Hayes. I did
Yes.
not know that.
Yeah, Brian Fury trained him.
Because I know he also trained
He trained with Bo Douglas too.
Sasha Banks,
Yes, he trained Sasha Banks.
who made it WWE as well.
Well, and see, I keep telling people, Sasha Banks, I saw years ago. Google this, YouTube it, whatever you have to do, folks. It goes by the name of Mercedes Monet, which she is in Japan right now. But named Mercedes against Mistress Belmont. That's back when she was Mistress. She's now Widow Belmont, semi-retired wrestler. And you'll see me in the audience watching my good friend, who just had a birthday last week, by the way, Kathy Belmont, beat Sasha Banks. Beat Mercedes. I don't think Sasha Banks is that great a wrestler. I've seen her when she was coming up. She was prettier than Kathy Belmont, and she got the push. I'm sorry, sometimes WWE picks whoever's the prettiest looking ones to be the wrestlers. They want more eye candy than they do talent. I mean, by flip side of that, you got someone like Piper Niven, who's a big girl. I have Nia Jax on Facebook as a friend of mine now. She's a friend. I friended her, and she accepted my friendship. She probably read who I'm associated with.
I haven't seen her since Royal Rumble.
Yes, she did sign a 90-day contract. That's what I'm told. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but she's only going to appear when she wants to appear. And you might see her do like a run-in, perhaps at WrestleMania, perhaps against Rhea, perhaps against Bianca. Are they going to give her a title push? I don't know. But they've been trying to get her back, and she finally gave in to go to the Royal Rumble. But she comes back under her own terms. She's going to work like Brock Lesnar does and like Roman Reigns does when she feels like it.
Talking about returns, Trish Stratus made a return this
Stratus faction guaranteed, like, whoa.
Yep.
So did Lita. Lita came back, won a title with Big Time Bex, we mentioned earlier.
Yeah. It's good to see them come back.
Can we get them an independent list here I have? I mentioned these folks to you. There's some independent shows coming up. Go on independentwrestling.com. Go on to RWA's website. Go on to NCW's website. Go on to WWE's websites. These are all good websites to be on. I'm going to read this list. Hopefully I can see it through my sunglasses here. March 11th, NCW. They're calling it Homecoming. It's going to be at the American Veterans Post in Bristol. 850 Hope Street in Bristol, Mass. Actually, Bristol, Rhode Island. It's $20 for VIP tickets. You'll get your pick of a couple slices of pizza or they're calling it a taco to go. If you go online, you can get your tickets $12 for general admission only, or your VIP tickets for $20. It's $15 for general admission tickets. Your bell time's going to be at 7:30. Doors open about 7 p.m. Great show. Always is a great show with NCW. Again, you will see, hopefully in the future, I've spoken to the man, John Casey, you will see him on this show at some time in the future. We'll talk more about that in later episodes. Next one I'm going to mention is going to be March the 24th. Again, it's NCW. They're going back to their home, Dedham. It's 2 weeks after the other event. At the VFW Post in Dedham on 84 Eastern Ave in Dedham. 7:30 and 10:30. Same deal applies. It's you go online, you get your ticket for $12 general admission. The time of the event, they want you to go online to get your VIP tickets as well for $20. It gives you a poster, a couple slices of pizza, or a taco to go. They give you a bag of Doritos, you put the taco stuff in, kind of shake it up. It's not a bad deal. March the 25th, which I have my ticket for already. I already purchased a ticket for this show. It's WWE is going up to Natick. I know it's a hike to go up to Natick, but to go up and see Hacksaw Jim Duggan might be worth the ride. Again, buy them online, it's $20. At the door, it's $25. Featuring Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I've never met Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I'm very excited to meet the man. They have a great card lined up with that one as well. Definitely worth it. Go on New England World Wrestling Extreme and look it up. You can buy your tickets right there online. Go through the whole system, click on this, click on, you'll figure it out. And buy your ticket online. Save yourself $5, take a ride up. Going to be excellent show plans. I will be at that event. March 26th, which is Sunday, the day after that Saturday event up in Natick. WA is returning to Providence. I'm not sure of the venue. He just mentioned this the other day. I believe it's at the Holy Rosary, again, where they were this past weekend with the show I saw. You can see the new Ocean State Championship. Frankie Bowens cashed in his Jeremy Bell Award. Excellent Wrestling RWA is $15 for ringside, which I understand is already sold out. Believe it or not, sold out in one day. That's how good RWA is getting. But you can get second row seats, which is VIP seats as well, which I already have. I'm going to that show as well, so I'll be doing a little traveling for wrestling that weekend. Excellent shows. Our Lady of the Roses is a nice little venue in Providence. It's about a 25-minute, maybe a half an hour ride for me. It's not that far from folks here in Attleboro. I live in Attleboro, and it took me 20 minutes to get there. I went to this show this past weekend. Excellent wrestling show. Their Rumble. Congratulations on the side to Tom Billington, who won the RWA Rumble this year. And then the end of the month, March 31st, which is a Friday night, is New England Wrestling Gladiators, NWG. Wrestlers Mike Baker, who's on this show, has opened up his wrestling school down there with them. Davey Cash is putting on great shows. I was at one of his shows a couple of weeks ago on a Friday. Excellent card of wrestling. Excellent people. Mike Montero's their champion. The Hoods wrestle, which is Davey Cash and Chris Pyro, the tag champions. You can see Buff Dad, his son Buffy. I call him Buffy. His name is Buff. I call him Buffy. You'll see Stephen Lust. Now, I mentioned Stephen Lust. I mentioned people. I am going to have, hopefully, on this show in the future, Davey Cash at one time and Stephen Lust at a different time. It's people I've arranged. Like I said, we have more information how we're going to be changing around the concept here of Inside Scoop. In a very short while, within a couple months, Steve kind of opened up the bag last month about this. I'm not going to really elaborate. For less than $25, people, I've been saying this for 4 years, go see these local wrestlers. Excellent wrestling, close up, you're right close to the action. Even if you get seats in general admission, you never more than 4 or 5 rows off. Smaller venues. I know this show is going to show on Saturday. Me and Steve plan on going this Friday. We plan on going to see a great event in Brockton with the family. You'll bring a bunch of your family, and maybe your friends, a couple friends from work, and we'll have a big get-together, a bunch of friends. If you ever see me at one of these wrestling shows, walk up to me. If I don't know you, say hello. I won't bite you. We want to talk wrestling? I'll talk wrestling to you. You'll actually see me without my glasses on. Joe's shaking his head. Joe, see me with my glasses on. I look better without my glasses on.
Yeah, to book my eyes.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I have them on. If you've ever been to our studio, folks, we got blazing lights in front of us here. I can't see a plus the thing with my sunglasses on, so I wear them. Steve kind of let the ball out of the bag, and I want Steve to elaborate on what he said. We got 5 minutes left in our taping, Steve. What you mentioned last show. Please, because you shocked me with this about a month ago. Less than a month ago.
Okay, folks, Inside Scoop been on the airwaves for how long now?
23 years.
Right? Yep. Back in 2000, we started under a different name called Let's Talk Wrestling, which changed names to the Inside Scoop. And we were taping back in another studio at the time. And now here we are at the ACS studio, and 23 years doing this, plus the 2 years prior to that doing the backyard wrestling, 25 years. I figure it's time for a break, is the reason why. However, I talked to Bubba about this, I will be making guest appearances every now and then as a guest. And doing it for so long, it's like I just want to break from it all. And when I told Bubba, he was surprised. He wasn't expecting it, but it goes with something you love doing for so long. After doing it for so long, you just want to break from it. Sometimes you want to just start a different career in something else. I don't want a career in something else. This is something that I always loved, watching wrestling, and the reasons behind the talk show back in the late 1990s when let me rephrase that, 2000s when I started the talk show, but Backyard Wrestling back in 1997, I wanted to bring something that wasn't offered on local television, and that was wrestling. You would see wrestling on bigger broadcast, different channels, but you would not find it on local cable. Then I was able to get on to WACS, and from there other towns started doing wrestling, local independents mostly, and that was something I wanted to start, was wrestling on local channels, because like what Bubba says every week on the talk show here, if you haven't been to independent wrestling, you should. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, I think you will be entertained, because I brought with me a few friends in the past and a few co-workers who weren't wrestling fans to a few independent shows, and they end up loving it. And they end up becoming wrestling fans, matter of fact. With all this being said, that's what got me the interest of starting a wrestling show and starting the talk show. And like I said, I need some time off, and that's why I'm gonna do it, and those are other reasons. It's not that I don't love wrestling anymore. I do love watching it. Well, WWE as in pro, I don't watch much of AEW, to be honest with you.
Why?
Independents, I go to a few shows here and there. Not as many shows as Bubba goes to, but you're probably the king of the independent fans, because you go to so
I go a
many
lot
shows.
of them, but there's guys who go to more than I do.
Oh, really?
Matter of fact,
Wow.
you will have a.
Wow.
Let me spill the beans too,
Okay.
a little bit, to take away some of your thunder, Steve. Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Yeah, I'm giving Steve respect he deserves there. Shut up, Steve, Joey. I'll slap you.
I'm not Steve.
I'll slap him too. Slap both of you. This show was going to stay the Inside Scoop, but I'm going to be taking over. I'm going to be taking over as your host. I'll have different guests on. We're going to an hour format. I'm going to be bringing on a lot of independent wrestlers, promoters, wrestling fans. One of my first guests is going to be a big wrestling fan. You know, the guy who carries over signs. He's going to be one of my first guests, I believe. That's why I
Is he
said
going to bring a sign to the
yes,
show?
he'll be bringing signs.
Okay.
He'll have the dweeb one up behind you.
So
I'll
I
make
don't
sure
need
of
to
it.
turn on the volume. I could just read his signs when I watch their TV.
You could. You could. But I'm going to be making this more into a independent wrestling talk show. I'll be inquisiting these wrestlers. I've spoken to a lot of independent friends of mine who want to come on the show and talk independent wrestling here in New England, especially in this area. I mean, I can't thank Steve enough for letting me come on this show. I can't thank Steve enough for letting us do this show, let me be on this show. I can't thank our directors, AACS. I'm going to mention him by name. Austin is our director pretty much most of the time. I can't thank him enough for taping our show and directing our show. I can't thank Jim, AACS, Joey for his lists, Emily for what she said, which is nothing.
But
Emily,
she was surprised tonight.
Emily
though,
for
with
being on
Joey's pick.
Emily for being on the show. Okay, Brian Party. There's a name I mentioned, Jake Bredesen, who was on the show, God rest his soul. DJ, and of course the Intimidator. I want to thank you all. We'll see you in a couple weeks. God bless.